Hi, my name is Jay Sugarman, and I want to welcome you to Museum Open House. This ongoing series features and highlights many of the outstanding museums and other cultural institutions. The main purpose of most programs is to inform viewers about current and upcoming exhibits, various programs, resources, and other opportunities that are available for the general public. Today via Zoom, we're fortunate to have as our guests Emory Marshall and Kathie Lovett. Emory works as a museum preparator at the Hood Museum of Art at Dartmouth College. Based in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, Kathie is a highly accomplished visual artist. Together, they serve as co-chairs of the Franconia Artwalk, an outdoor seasonal art exhibition in Franconia, New Hampshire, featuring sculptures, mosaics, paintings, ceramics, gardens, architecture, and other art forms displayed throughout the town. During the program, we're finding out why and how the Franconia Art Walk came about and how it operates today. We'll go on a behind-the-scenes tour and in the process come to better understand and appreciate some of the outstanding artists whose work is on display. Let's start by meeting Emory and Kathie and then finding out all about the Franconia Art Walk. Welcome. So delighted you're both able to be here.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having us.
Before we jump right in and take a tour of the art walk, I think it would be of interest if each of you would just briefly share a little bit about your backgrounds, perhaps artistic, professional interest. Emory, would you please start?
Yes, my name is Emory Marshall, co-chair for the board of the Franconia Artwalk. And I graduated college with a degree in photography about 20 years or so. And in the interim years, managed to work my way through photography and museums and working for museums all over the country for the last 15, 20 years.
Fabulous, fabulous. Kathy, welcome. A few words about yourself, please.
Okay, I have an MFA in the visual arts. I have a strong interest in architecture, but I also paint and print and do things that come forward. Um, I'm interested in community work and connecting community to art experiences.
Terrific, terrific. And we're going to be fortunate to see some of your work shortly. Kathy, could you start us off in sharing a little of the history? What inspired the creation of the Franconia Art Walk?
It was created by a person with an engineering background. He went to an art walk in Meredith, New Hampshire, and maybe several others. And he came back and he said, Franconia could really use this. We're a huge recreational area with
Hmm.
hiking and skiing and year-round sports, really. And he saw the gap that was the cultural piece. And he was very interested in bringing it to our town. He did not have an art background. He didn't necessarily know artists, but
Hmm.
he had great energy and put together a 501(c)(3) in about a year's time.
Wow.
And it was off and running. And I came into it about a year later. I was serving on the New Hampshire for the Arts Board in Concord, and but living here always, and I could see that it was going to be a very good attractor, a plus for people who live here, you know, an economic driver as well. And so it it began.
Terrific, terrific. And it's thriving now. Emery, how would you describe the experience for those maybe who hadn't had the opportunity yet of walking the art walk?
So the Art Walk is a self-guided tour, and you can pick up anywhere you feel like on the Art Walk. It's free to the public and open at all hours. And we really wanted to try to create a walking experience, an outdoor experience for people to view art and enjoy the outdoors at the same time. And it's a really fun opportunity to see art and creatively think outside the box at what you're looking at.
Yeah, I know as we're going to shortly see, there's such a range of submissions and creativity just runs throughout everything we're going to enjoy. And to that end, you and Kathie Emory have put together a fabulous slide presentation to give us a taste of what we can look forward to this year. Emory, could you start us off, please, with that?
Sure. Right. So the slides following are a taste of the map we have this year and a small selection of some of the artists we have on display. In total, we have about 35 exhibits on the Art Walk this year. A few of those are Art Sparks stations, which I'll let Kathie go into more detail a little bit later. Um, but first, I'll let Kathie describe this slide.
This slide was before the art walk started. I
Hmm.
had decided that the town needed a little perking up too. And we made a few friends and I made straw people, and I painted various different heads to go with their personalities. We took in kind of the history of Franconia and just the general atmosphere. So in the first one, I'm sitting with our hiker who was downtown, and we articulated the fingers so they could hold on to things. And we just, without permission, put them around town. Suddenly, there were new people in town. And the one on the right is our iron furnace, a historic structure that's you don't see very often in New England. And I created a worker for the iron furnace, and he
Hmm.
has the original wheelbarrow they used to use. So that was before the art walk started, and by the next year, the art walk was going, and we didn't need any more straw people.
Well, I think that does epitomize, though, the creativity that has continued since I think it's 2018 when things started to this day. Emery, can you continue the tour up to date now?
Yes. So this is a map brochure for this year's 2025 Art Walk exhibition. We have these littered throughout town. You'll find them on posts at various gardens, and we also have them located in businesses throughout town as well. As you can see, we have about 35 exhibits, and you can walk all over town. It's about a mile, mile and a half long, and pick it up anywhere you like and see as much as you want or as little as you want as time allows.
Fabulous, fabulous. And now we'll get to sample what viewers can actually see.
And so this next slide, this is one of our artists. First time we've worked with him this year, Dave Crowley. He has a fun sculpture that ascends and descends above our rock wall in our Art Walk Common area.
Very clever, very clever.
And he has a second sculpture along the art walk as well. A lot of our artists have maybe one or two sculptures, depends on what they submit from year to year. Kathie, would you like to talk about this one?
Yes, so this is a popular one, and people love to take their picture with this one. And it's called Face It. And there you see Ed, who's the artist of this one. And it's right on Main Street. So people have a lot of fun uh, doing funny things around this sculpture.
That's great. That's great. Kathie, how do you and maybe the committee select and then curate each art walk?
Well, we try to get all the applications in on time. It never works, but eventually we, by probably March, we'd like to be doing it in February. We are making final plans with people about when to bring them, and how Emory's an expert in installation, so we have to think about how it's installed and what we need on the day they arrive. But we look carefully at each piece to see if we feel like it fits in, and then we try to think of where it might go to best show
Mm,
off the work. And we have other people chiming in on the jury as well. So it's kind of a group effort, and it's so exciting every year to see all this new work coming forward.
yeah, understandably,
Yeah.
definitely. Emery, would you please continue our tour?
Yeah. This is a wonderful work by Jill Ditbener called Grandma's Pickles. And it's a wonderful cutout from metal of her grandmother who used to make pickles and had a lovely pickle recipe. And so this was a tribute to her grandmother.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. That seems like it epitomizes what the art walk is about.
And
Just
on
the,
our, oh, sorry, on our docent tour, we serve pickles right here.
that's great. That's great. Just the fun and the craftsmanship together makes it so outstanding to see there. Next one, please, Emery.
Yes. This one is made by two local artists, Mike Platt and Sarah Burns. They work at the local Littleton Studio School in Littleton, New Hampshire. And this was a collaborative effort from the two of them and created this wonderful sculpture out of ceramic and metal.
Mhm.
They too are repeat submitters. We've worked with them for a few years now, and they have lots of stuff to provide, and we really enjoy working with them over the years.
Wonderful, wonderful. Kathie, as we bring up the next one, a few comments about this. I believe it's, yeah,
Oh,
peace.
yes, peace. And this is Jack Howard Potter. He uh, does lots of large sculpture, has a studio in New York and in Vermont. This one is fairly small, but it is inspired by St. Gaudens's sculpture in New York City of Victory. And he uh, didn't feel like he wanted the theme of victory, so he named his
Mm,
angel Peace. And
nice.
very lovely steel sculpture.
Most definitely, most definitely. The next one, I believe, Emery, is Vorka.
This is Vorka, another wonderful local artist from Vermont.
Mhm.
Um, he has contributed a couple of years now. Am I correct,
Yes,
Kathie? Yep.
yes.
Did you have any other info uh, or details for this one specifically?
Well, it's an orca, but it's made out of a Volkswagen Bug.
Oh, fabulous.
And
Wow.
so it's Vorka.
Very clever indeed.
Yeah.
Next one is Over the Horizon, I believe.
Yes, another repeat artist. We've worked with Chris for several years now, and he does a lot of work with metal and paints and brushes them with a textured finish too sometimes. He's a great artist from Connecticut, and we've enjoyed working with him over the years as well.
And as we continue, Kathy, a few words about Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, very favorite sculpture of many. Its color is this electric ribbon
Yeah,
of reflection and light and movement, and made by Richard Pitts from New York area. He's been welding, sculpting for many years. He's 85. He still sculpts and welds every day.
fabulous.
And
Wow,
he is a
it
treasure.
it just looks so good in the background, the scenery. I think it speaks to what you both were saying earlier, the consideration that you give to the placement of these pieces throughout the art walk. Just stunning. And the next one is Angel Owl.
Yes, this is Dave Channon, another repeat artist and wonderful artist to work with. We have another sculpture of his on the art walk this year, which I don't have a photo of, but it's the other sculpture is Coco, and this one is Angel Owl. And I've always loved his repurposing of metal objects and assembling them into new forms to create owls and gorillas and all of the other fun work that he produces from found objects.
Nice, nice. And the next one, I think, is well titled Couple.
Yes, Joe Churchirillo comes to us from southern Vermont, and he uh, just loves form, and
Mm.
he doesn't usually know what he's making. He's just kind of in his studio processing metal, deciding on shapes and forms, and he actually doesn't really title his work till it's done. And people help him name his work. And he's very, a friend of his said, "Well, that's a couple, Joe." And he was like, "Okay, that's a couple."
I'm right on target, I think. Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Emery, this next piece of work that we're going to enjoy, I think viewers and others, even if they haven't made their way to the art walk yet, have perhaps heard in the news over the summer. Can you share a little background here?
Yes, this sculpture has created a lot of buzz in the North Country and beyond this summer. This is Paul Belenky's piece, Elevated Fruit. We've worked with him for a couple of years now, and his work is very fun and playful, and he likes to make oversized objects of, say, bananas or cows. His work is very playful, and we installed this in early May, I believe,
Mhm.
and not 3 or 4 days later, the banana disappeared. So naive board chairs, we thought that there wouldn't be any incidents and nobody would have any bright ideas, but turns out it was stolen, it disappeared, and we put out an APB and worked real hard with the Franconia Police Department, and they eventually brought it back to us a couple of weeks later. Nobody knows who or why or where it went and how it came back, but we are happy to have the banana back nonetheless. And a lot of news outlets picked it up and mentioned it in their uh, news headlines and stuff like that. So it's created a lot of buzz for us this summer, and probably one of the reasons why we've had a very active
Mm.
summer this year.
Terrific, terrific. And the final image we're going to enjoy is Fire and Rain. Kathie, a few comments, please.
Yes, this is Paul, and he uh, uses natural materials. He mostly uses wood, and every sculpture we get from him is quite different. This one is so simple, and you just can't the feeling that surrounds this sculpture is just very serene and thoughtful. And he is responding to climate change and all the wildfires and the flooding that we're seeing all over the world, really, and what that's, how we need to consider that. And this one, on the slightest breeze, the raindrops turn. They're
Hmm.
always turning in the wind.
Ah, wow.
And I think it's the shape and the weight. The fire shape doesn't seem to turn quite as much, but it does turn. But every time I drive by this sculpture, the the blue raindrops are turning and turning. And it's an active sculpture.
Hmm.
And I think once people are under that tree with it, it really does broadcast a feeling about it. And I think that's why it is one of the highlights of the art walk.
Fabulous, fabulous. Emory, how can viewers and others keep in touch, find out more information about the art walk?
You can visit us at artwalkfranconianh.org. And on that website, we have information about how to visit, where to visit, what you can expect to see. And if you have any questions or would like to get in contact with us, you can reach out to us there.
Terrific, terrific. Um, Kathie, as we transition from the screen share and move on, how has the local community embraced the art walk from the beginning to today?
I think at first they noticed, but no big deal. And then people started to realize that it changed every year. And they were like, well, where did this go? Where did that go? And I said, it went somewhere else, but we have new things to look at. So I think, once people realized that it changed and we were up till November 1st, but I think they were like, oh, we got to do this. And I think, especially during COVID, it was so popular. People
Mhm.
were meeting their friends 6 feet apart, but walking the whole trail. And it was just this thing you could do, and there were no barriers. And I think it really gave us kind of a boost then, but it's continued. And the local people, we get comments like, you know, how come there aren't more sculptures in the woods this year? Why were you, yeah, why is your brochure so late? We need that right now. And
Oh, that's made an
before,
impact.
yeah, before we even have all the sculptures up. So they are not shy about telling us. And then we do some surveying on the trail, and it's so interesting what brings visitors here, if they how they found out about it. And it's become sort of a destination that people do every year. They have their White Mountains vacation. They hike a few mountains. They come and do the art walk. They eat at local restaurants. They just enjoy being in town.
So just adding on maybe a little to those last comments, Emery, what has been the economic impact, maybe increase in tourism due to all the Art Walk has to offer?
Yes, it's definitely helped our local businesses and created traffic through there, whether it's the thrift store for the VAs or Mac grocery store, Franconia Market and Deli. Uh, let's see. It keeps a big buzz coming through town, and it's a nice pit stop for people to enjoy.
Terrific, terrific. Looking back from each of your perspectives, Kathie, first, what's been maybe the most rewarding part of helping lead the art walk personally over the years?
I think people recognizing that it adds to their town, that it brings life to their town, that they see something that's curious and not normal.
Mm,
Uh, and I I think it's sort of a seasonal awakening every
mm.
year when we get our new sculptures, and people are definitely, from the minute that first sculpture comes, they are paying attention. So I think for me, that's the plus side of it.
Nice, nice. Emery, just a few personal comments as well.
Yes, I've really enjoyed working with the Art Walk since I moved here about 4 years ago because seeing the community engagement and the joy that it brings to the locals and the tourists around town is really fulfilling and rewarding to see the excitement and engagement created by us in this area, just a little nook in the White Mountains that's quaint and quiet and hopefully a little bit more vibrant and exciting with the artwork that we bring to town.
And in closing, Kathie, perhaps some upcoming or future plans that you or the association have in mind?
We will definitely be doing more docent tours. That's been very effective.
Mm.
I think people are also enjoying art sparks, which are hands-on activities in the woods.
Ah,
And we have a lot of ideas. We have treasure hunt ideas, we have
mm.
little expedition ideas, we have a dancer in our group, and she would love to interpret sculpture by dancing.
Mm.
We're pretty endless in what
Yeah,
we like
no,
to do.
no shortage of ideas, that's for sure.
No,
Well, look forward to visiting the Art Walk sometime soon. Definitely encourage viewers and others still have many weeks left before this season ends. And we'll have the contact information that you shared, Emery, in the closing credits. But unfortunately, we've come to the end of today's program. I want to thank both of you again so much for taking the time to be here and want to wish you both continued success with future endeavors.
thank you,
Thank you
Jay.
for taking the time.
Also want to thank those of you watching for joining us and hope you'll be able to tune in next time.